Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria. If you're new here, this is a channel about spirituality. Welcome, welcome. Please subscribe to see more videos like this one. Today, I wanted to give you an energy update for March. I've never done one of these before, but I figured we'd try it out. Please let me know in the comments if this is something that is interesting to you, if you resonate, and we'll take it from there. And if you guys love these, I'll do more of them in the future. In order for me to deliver an update, I have to tune into the energies of Gaia, where our planet is, right, in her evolutionary journey. I have to factor in the sun, where our female sun is, in her arc, right? This is the first year that we have had a female consciousness inhabit our solar system sun. So this is a pretty pivotal year from the solar code's perspective, as well as I have to factor in the human collective as a whole, because we all live and die as one big human family. And I notice that more often than not, there are trends in the collective that just happen because we don't exist in a vacuum. And if a large portion of humanity is ready to face certain wounding or certain patterns, we are all going to be gravitating collectively towards dealing with the same issues. We're going to look at the overall energies of March, and we're going to look at the opportunities for the month and some of the challenges for the month. And that is how we're going to keep it fairly simple. So after the first two somewhat sluggish months of the year, I feel like March is when we're going to start getting momentum. March is when your energy levels are going to go up to the optimal point. Enough of you have been feeling off since December, whether physically off, like certain physical symptoms have been hitting you out of nowhere, whether that is headaches, migraines, certain pains and aches that feel chronic but are not, weird digestion issues that you've never had before. All of these things have made the first 2 months of 2023 perhaps less optimal. Only about 10% of humanity has been experiencing optimal performance and in the first 2 months of the year. And only about 10% of humanity is kind of like happy with how the first 2 months of the year went in terms of the overall. I'm not talking about like a particular area of your life, because enough of you have succeeded in a particular area of your life. But if you look at the great average, like between health, relationships, career, money, soul calling, hobbies, like all of that, it was kind of like a little bit like a meh start of the year. Perhaps not what we expected from a 7, right? Because a 7 is just such a beautiful, active energy. It is a year to make big, bold moves, and the beginning of the year didn't feel like that. Luckily, the tides are shifting, and in March, the going is going to get easier. For all of us collectively and individually, it's going to get easier. Our energy levels are going to become more optimal, especially in the middle of the month onwards. So around March 15th, 14th, 15th is when naturally you're going to start feeling like, okay, like the old me is back, but in a good way, right? Like the old me that wasn't like weirdly sick all the time and like not getting enough sleep for whatever reason, like all these insomnia symptoms, very present in humanity. Like that is going to be behind us, at least for some time. And you're going to feel that natural influx of energy, and not just energy, you're going to feel the influx of inspiration. The fire is coming back, and you're going to notice, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for something. And so as this new energy is coming through, by the way, the solar codes, the first 2 months of the year, we have received solar codes that are large upgrades. And they have been more around internal work. They have been more around looking within. They have been more around, let's do the tally of where you have come to date and who you are inside. And it's been a lot of like internal conundrums and a lot of wars that we had to wage. And, including the war with our inner critics telling us, okay, maybe we're not as great as we thought we were. Maybe we do have limitations more so than we thought we were. A lot of the solar codes that were hitting our bodies were a little bit around, internal work. And now finally in March, we are getting outside of the internal into the external world. Enough of you are going to start feeling energized, pumped to do the things that you wanted to do. Some of you are going to weirdly get started on the New Year's resolutions that you promised yourself you're going to get started in January. Enough of you are going to start your New Year's resolutions in March. March 7th, there's like an influx of humanity that's just going to be like, okay, it's time. I'm going to finally hit the gym. I'm going to finally, eat healthier or whatever your resolution is. Finally enough of you are going to start doing it in March, which is completely fine, you guys, because that is when the sun, in March, we're approaching the spring equinox. The solar energies are extremely potent during spring equinox. And, that's why we're all going through a wake up, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. We're going through a massive wake up and shake up. And so the opportunities of March, all of this energy, the energy of the sun that is going to be hitting our bodies is going to be very proactive and active in general. And so we're going to be finally ready to take action. The challenge of March, which goes hand in hand with the opportunity for March, is busy work. You may find yourself gravitating towards busy work or kind of like being too much in the trenches, not seeing the forest from the trees. That is unfortunately the energy of March, at least through the 21st of March. And then the last few days, 9-10 days, feels a little bit differently. But the first 3 weeks in March feel a little hectic. It's like a rush of like, okay, like let's do something, right? And you have this influx of energy. And so you would find yourself doing anything just in order to do something. Like there's just going to be that push, okay, do. But, busy work is wasted effort. And so in fact, when that inspiration hits you, when you feel like, okay, finally I'm ready to create, finally I'm ready to move on, finally I have this spare energy to do all the things that I wanted to do and never gotten around to, the most important part, instead of jumping and diving headfirst into action, is asking yourself, am I doing busy work or am I doing something that truly matters? Am I building the foundation for the rest of my life, or am I just essentially keeping myself busy so as to distract myself from the fact that I'm moving nowhere fast? And there's definitely that tendency of like a little ram or like an Aries, just like charging ahead, not necessarily seeing, the collateral damage that's being created, not necessarily being very strategic, being extremely tactical is the challenge of March. And so stepping outside of the doing frenzy, the overachieving frenzy, the let's get as busy as we can possibly be, let's make sure that everything is scheduled and our calendars are filled up, taking a step back and saying, hey, I have this energy that was given to me by Source, God, universe, sun, doesn't really matter. I can spend it doing busy work, or I can spend it doing what truly matters. There are only going to be 3 points in the entire year, March, middle of March being one of them, where you can make massive shifts and massive strides away from your personal status quo, away from your patterns, away from what used to be, and into the new you. The question that I'm getting from the collective as I'm recording this is, what are the other 3 points? You're going to have a point in July 7th specifically, where again, there is like a window of opportunity. July 7th and 8th for most of humanity, where you could make that big shift. And then around September 9th as well, 9th, 10th, and 11th actually, where you're going to be able to, have that upswing again. And so going back to March, this is fertile grounds, you guys, to plant the seeds and to actually get working on something that you wanted to birth, like truly. Like if you think about your 2023, whatever your most audacious goal, like whatever is your biggest project, whatever is the biggest challenge that you wanted to face, get through, started mid-March, get going in mid-March, there is so much, like so many doors are going to be open. It is like fertile ground for starting new things, for new beginnings, like nobody's business. Another thing that March is going to be, depending on which camp you fall into, could be a blessing or a curse of March, is sensitivity. One thing which is not usually characteristic of Aries or the energies of fire at all, there is some sensitivity coming through for humanity in March, as in our tender, loving hearts is springing up to life like the first blooms in the spring. and our hearts are becoming a little bit tender. So just watch out for sensitivities. You may notice that you are sensitive to what other people say, how other people act, a lot more sensitive than usual. The reason this sensitivity is coming up is because this March that's coming right up is an extremely, extremely potent fertile ground for healing your heart. Extremely, you guys. It is like when your heart is opening up like the petals of the flower, this is the time when you could look within and be like, okay, I can see inside of my heart, I can see inside of this beautiful flower, and I can see that there is some trauma in there that needs healing, and excavate that trauma, right? So during March specifically, working on your heart trauma, especially the things that you wanted to suppress and disown, and things you didn't want to look at, the things you don't want to acknowledge you still remember, all of the exes that hurt you, and your parental relationships that didn't go right, and the society that didn't get you, all of this flavors of heart trauma may start to manifest themselves. Like it's almost like an old wound opening up, but it's not opening up to create an even bigger traumatic experience for you. It is opening up as an invitation for you to heal. If you require heart healing help, heart healing medicine, I have an entire podcast called Our Sacred Universe. By the way, it is also a YouTube channel for those of you that hate podcasts. It is also on YouTube, Our Sacred Universe. It probably has 15 meditations, completely free guided meditations and journeys, heart healing journeys that specifically address the trauma of your heart, allow you to open it up, allow you to be fully aligned with your emotions, all of that. So I highly encourage you to peruse it and to browse it and see if anything resonates. That is on the opportunities for March. Another thing that's really, really beautiful in March is the energy of money. You may pay attention to the ideas that you get in the month of March, because there is going to be opportunities for some of you to become very wealthy over time off of the ideas that you get this March. Like the energies of Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, are extremely, extremely strong. Lakshmi is coming through really, really strong this March. All of these abundance, but specifically like golden coins, not that like, but gold, I guess the golden standard, right? Like that is the proxy for wealth. All of these ideas and all of these things are bubbling up to the surface. And like wealth really circulates in society, like energy, right? Wealth is going to be shifting hands starting March. Like enough of finances, like there's a shakeup in the financial world. I'm not saying that anything is going to happen with the stock market, but money is an energy, and this energy is like a river, right? That's why the money needs to be working. Like the wealthy people will tell you that you don't just put the money under your mattress and that's where you keep it. Like it always needs to be invested, always needs to be gaining interest. So in this particular March, this coming March, the egregore of money and the energy of money is such that it wants to change hands. And so some of you may come upon a fortune, or if you don't immediately come upon a fortune, it is going to be like, pay attention to the aha moments and the ideas that you get around finances, because there may be a breakthrough specifically in March. Starting March 3rd, actually, and throughout the entire month. And this also tells me that enough people can hear the idea, like can receive the idea or the insight. However, if you don't act upon it, if not immediately after getting the idea or the thought, but very, very soon afterwards, this flow of abundance is going to pick somebody else, right? Because there are many willing souls who would love to ideally become wealthy. So just pay attention. If you're getting this hit of like, okay, this is an idea. This is like providence. Like this is like, it's almost like the idea came to you from God. So seize the moment and act upon it. March is also very favorable to making lasting bonds, specifically with the intention of partnering in a business sense. So a lot of good partnerships coming through in March. It's like veil. There was like this fuzzy veil, and that actually started somewhere in November of last year, where somehow like it became harder to strike partnerships with certain things. Just like it felt like things were in the way of like good collaborative partnering in business. And all of a sudden in March, we're seeing that veil drop. And, it's like all of these forces are starting to become magnetized together. So pay attention to the people that you meet in the business setting, or like some of you may be able to find a mentor if you've been seeking for a mentor, or just somebody who is going to be able to propel your career forward. So again, not dissimilar to what we saw with money. Like it's a very, very favorable period for you to get your career straight and your finances straight. Obviously, an amazing time to start manifesting. Really good, actually, specifically money though. Like if you're seeking to manifest like health, March is not the best month. May is actually a lot better. Like this upcoming May is going to be really, really good to face your health issues. Yeah, but more on that in my May update. By the way, if you guys want it, please let me know if you want me to continue making monthly updates in the comments. But yeah, if you want to manifest wealth, abundance, and money, starting your manifestation practice in March is really, really, really good. And now that I'm thinking about it, I wrote a book about manifestation. There is a chapter there around money. So if you're curious, check it out. My book is called 72 Keys to Manifestation, or An Ancient Path of a Modern Day Alchemist. It's available on Amazon, Kindle, and Audible. Okay, what else about March? Other challenges. I do notice towards the end of March, remember how we talked at the beginning of March, the energies are really, really high. You may notice a lapse of these energies towards like the 20th of March onward. You may feel like your energy is a little bit up and down. And then there is definitely a lot of mood swings coming end of March. This is completely normal. Everybody's going to be going through that. So a really, really good practice for that is do the grounding. Literally grow the roots from the soles of your feet. Ground yourself. Make sure those roots grow to the very center of planet Earth, Gaia, almost like hugging her heart, because it may start feeling like you are ungrounded, but it is not you. It is just the energies. The tectonic plates are moving for Gaia. She's going to be moving her tectonic plates. I don't really foresee any natural disasters, but Gaia is stretching her body a little bit. And when that happens, she's moving massive amounts of underground waters, our planet. And she's going to be doing that starting about March 22nd through April 4th. So when the underground waters are moving, our emotions are like a crazy town, like anything is possible. Right? So if all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I want to cry. Oh my God, I want to cry. I don't know where this is coming from. And then like next minute you're angry, like, or then you're like sad, or then you're like elated and happy, want to jump up and down. It's not you. It's the underground waters of Gaia. Alrighty, my darlings. This kind of somehow turned out longer than I've intended. This was completely in the flow. Apparently more came through than I thought was going to come through. So let me know if this resonates, and I'm sending you a big virtual hug, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.